So this is a Swift Conqueror at 480. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. It's going to start off at the front of the van. First of all, you got your jockey wheel, so you wind up and down to get the van level, and then you'll put your legs down to stabilise the van while you're using it. Hitch handle, when you lower it down onto the ball of the car, this will lock down into place. To release it, you pull the handle back up, and then you've got your stabiliser on top. When it's locked on the car, you'll push down the stabiliser and lock it into place. To release it, a good hard tug, and that will release it from the back of the car. Breakaway cable goes around the ball of the car, so you lock it back round on itself and clip it back on. And what that will do is, if the caravan ever comes off the back of the car, it'll actually pull on the handbrake itself. You've then got your lead going to your car for your power and lights. Front locker. You've got your gas regulator up on the bulkhead with a yellow gas shut-off valve. You turn that 90 degrees towards the camera, and that will isolate the gas supply completely. You've then got your gas valve on top of the bottle, on and off, open and closed, as you can see, the bottle closed when you are travelling, and then you've got a reverse thread fitment gas pipe going to the bottle itself. So what I mean by that is you'd actually turn the thread the opposite way to loosen it, and the opposite way to tighten. You've then got your wind down leg on either side at the front. You've got your heating gas flue on the front side of the van here with the Aldi rotor on the side of it. So that is your gas flue. You've then got a barbecue gas point on this side of the van on the outside, and then we'll come along to the water connections. As you can see at the moment, I've got it connected direct to the tap. So what that will do is it won't go onto through the onboard tank. It will just go straight to the heater tank itself. So you've got the water pump end drop down in the aqua roll, and you've got the blue tab here just to push into the side of the van and release by pulling it back. I'm not going to disconnect that at the moment because it's all connected up on water, so you can see it's all working. When you want to fill the onboard tank, you'd actually need to connect this pump to the top part here, and that will fill the onboard tank, and I'll show you a bit more about that when we get inside of the van. You've then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the caravan, as you can see. Motor mover power switch down in the corner there, and a 110 amp leisure battery there that comes as part of the starter pack. Motor mover and wheel nuts. The wheel nuts will be torqued before the caravan leaves site, and then you've got your motor mover which operates off the 110 amp battery, and we'll walk you through that in a short while. Fridge vents on the side of the van where it relieves the hot air from the side of the caravan so it's not building up inside, and if you're running it on gas, the gas flue on the end for that as well. Grey waste pipes. Fresh water goes in the front, it has to come out somewhere once it's been through the sinks or the shower, so it comes out here, and that you have two grey pipes that push inside the van and drop down into the waste master itself. Then got your flush tank for the toilet system. So before use, you need to put the 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid. And then at the bottom, you've got your toilet cassette, which you'll release by pulling the orange handle towards you, or upwards, sorry. The neck here is where you empty the waste out, and before use, you'll put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid. Now on the back of the cassette, the orange button there is a pressure relief for when you are tipping the waste away. Back of the caravan, you've got your wind down legs on either side again. Motor mover and wheel nuts. You've then got a 3-pin socket which puts power into the awning. If you have an awning up, for instance, you can run a power lead outside, or you can run a fridge, etc. on the outside of the van. Then got your wind down leg at the front side of the van, and a barbecue gas point on this side also. The locker here is for storage access to underneath the bed area itself. We'll go inside the van now and show you how the inside works. So the first thing you do when you come inside the van with the power connected, or if you're on a site with 12 volt, you'll come inside, hit the power button just here, and it will turn the power on the inside of the van. Turn the water pump off for a minute, I'll come back to that. At the top here, it's indicating that I've got power coming from the power post to the caravan, and if you were towing down the road and you had a 12 volt connection coming into the caravan, you'd have an orange dot on the car and a green light on the caravan. Leisure battery voltage, as you can see, 14 volts, and if you connect it to the car, it'll actually bring up the vehicle power coming to the car on this side also. Now, as you can see here, you've got a water pump and a fill tank. Now what we're going to do is, before I show you the water system, before I show you how that works, I'm just going to take you underneath the seat on the far side of the caravan, and you'll actually notice in here you have a couple of drain down valves. Now these the yellow valves are the drain down valves that I'm talking about. Now to run the water system you need to have the two valves in the positions they are now, the two yellow ones. And what would happen is when you're done with the caravan for the winter, you'll actually open up these, or done with the caravan on site, you'll actually open up both of these valves, and it'll allow you to drain the water system down. Now down here, on the panel just here, it says internal, external, and drain system. So what that means is if you want to run from the internal tank, which is that big black tank there, down the front you've got a silver tank just there, which is actually the hot water tank itself. If you want to run from the internal tank, you'll need to make sure the white valve that you see just there is pointing down, as you can see here. If you want to run from the external supply, which is the aqua roll, which is outside of the van, you'll need to put that white valve so it's pointing to the right. And if you want to drain the water system down, as you can see, you need to have it to the right again and lift both the valves up. At the moment, we're going to run it from the external supply. So we're going to spin this valve round, as you can see. So now I am running from the aqua roll only. The tank here, this will all be drained down before you receive the caravan, so if you do want to have a go with the hot water systems, etc., you would need to fill everything up before you try and turn it on. Underneath here also, just down in this corner, you've actually got the motor mover control box itself. You don't need to do anything with that, and I'll demonstrate that at the end of the handover, as in the motor mover itself. Now to fill the water system, first thing you're going to do is come over to each tap on the caravan and open up the taps. Now the system is full at the moment, so you'll actually notice water coming out, but you'll open up all the taps up on the hot side. So that's the one in the kitchen, the one in the bathroom, and the one on the shower just inside the door there. So you'll open all them taps up before you actually turn on the water pump. Now if you're going to run from the internal supply, which is the big black tank, you'll need to connect the pump to the top connection on the outside of the van. Then you hit the button here, fill tank, and what that will start doing is it will start filling this tank, the freshwater tank, and when it's full, it will go to full at the top there, and it will stop filling that system. You would need then to turn off the fill tank itself, swap the pipe work over on the outside of the van, and then with the taps open, start filling the water system. You'll hit water pump, and as you'll be able to see in a second, you'll actually see the water steam, and I've actually put the water heater on, so it's all warmed up, so we can demonstrate to you everything is working. Hopefully you can see the steam rising there. As you can see, the water system does get very hot, so if you've got young children, do make sure that they at least run some cold water at the same time. But for now I'm just going to turn that off. But what you do is essentially wait till the water is running, as you can see now, and then you would actually turn off the taps when the water is running out completely, or continuously should I say. Once you're at that point, you can go to the water heating on board the caravan. So that's the control panel on the left hand side just as you come in the door. On and off button in the bottom right hand corner, letting me know I've got mains power coming in and the current room temperature of the caravan. Press menu, and at the top here you've got your room temperature. So I'll go through how you select the power supply in a moment, but you essentially turn the heating up to where you want it to be, temperature wise. The one below that is the water system temperature on or off. So at the moment the water temperature is just on, or water temperature on normal or boost. So at the moment it's just on normal temperature, so it's around 35 to 40 degrees. When you put it onto boost, it'll actually boost the water system and it will get the temperature up to around 60 to 65 degrees. Now depending on what caravan site you're on, you're going to either have 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of power coming into the caravan. So you've got power off, power 1, power 2 or power 3. Here on site we can only run 1 kilowatt, hence why we are running the system as 1 kilowatt. If you want to ignite, as you can see, everything's turned on gas as well at the moment, just so you can see it's operating. So if you wanted to run the gas system, you turn the gas bottle on in the front locker. When you first come into the van, it will say off, and to ignite it, you simply hit the on button. It will self-ignite on gas, and when it does that, everything will start operating on gas on board the car, or the heating and hot water will start operating on gas. So if you're off-grid as well, that's how you'd run your heating and hot water without a power supply coming into the van. Now with the fridge, really simple to use. On the gas system, it self-ignites. Power on and off on the end, so you press and hold to turn the power on, and press to turn the power on. Press and hold to turn the power off, and press to turn the power on. At the moment, as you can see, we're connected to mains power, so the fridge is chilling on mains. You can operate it when you're on mains or gas. You can control the temperature on this button on the right hand side. If you want to ignite the fridge on gas, you'll press the gas button just here, and that'll allow the gas system to ignite. You hear it click a few times, and now it's lit on gas, and that will start chilling. So again, if you're off grid, that is how you chill the fridge. When you're towing down the road, you can actually put it onto 12 volt mode. At the moment we're not connected to the car, so the 12 volt mode runs off the car's 12 volt supply, not the caravan battery. Now what that'll do is it'll turn the fridge into a cool box, a bit like one of these plug-in cool boxes you plug into your 12 volt supply on the car. And again, that'll just chill the fridge nicely. To turn the fridge off, as I said, press and hold, and the fridge will turn off. Going next to the hob, it's going to be hard to show you the electric hob working, but I can assure you it does work. Gas systems, I'm just going to ignite all the rings up so you can see everything's working. As you can see, one ring there ignited, and you do need to hold in the gas valve for a few seconds once it has ignited, and slowly release so it keeps ignited. Again, second gas ring working, and the third gas ring ignited. Going to ignite the grill now so you can see that's working. Again, as you can see, grill is working, and all the gas lit on there. And we'll go to the oven next. As you can see, again, gas is working on there as well. Microwave, pretty self-explanatory, works like your household microwave. Roof vent above my head, in, out on the 2 arrows, and the power button which will turn it on and off. You just need to remember to open the roof hatch with the handle just here, turn it one way to open and turn it the opposite way to shut the roof hatch down. But you would need to open that before you try and run the fan system on board the van. In the bathroom, the towel rail. Now when you have got the heating on, again if you've got children with you, please do get them to mind their hands, because them towel rails do get extremely hot. Same goes for adults, obviously. Just make sure you keep your hands away from there when it is on. Toilet system, very simple to use. Electric flush on top, so you'll press the button and it'll flush the toilet. Little light here will illuminate when the toilet cassette is full, and that will just let you know that the toilet cassette is full and it does need emptying. The toilet does turn for your convenience, so you can get comfortable, for instance. However, when you are emptying the cassette, you do need to make sure it's in the central position, as it is now, so it allows you to remove the toilet cassette from under the van. Down the bottom here, we have the toilet waste handle, which you need to make sure is open before you use the toilet itself. The reason for that is it isn't like a standard toilet where you've got a water sat in the bottom of the system. So you would need to make sure it's open so the toilet waste goes straight down inside the cassette. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab one of my colleagues, and I'm going to demonstrate the motor move to you so you can see it is operating the way it should.